Good morning, students. I myself, Dr. Vasantrao B. Kadam, Associate Professor, Department of Botany, KTHM College, Nashik. Students, we are going to learn chapter number 3, Collection and Representation of Data. Now, in this chapter, we are going to learn the various subpoints. That means classification of data, meaning and need of classification, objectives of classification, classification according to class interval, overlapping and non-overlapping frequency table, methods of representation of statistical data, essential features of tabular presentation, advantages of tabular presentation, graphical representation of data and its advantages, types of graphical representation, histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve, scattered or dot diagram, merits and limitations of graphical representation, diagrammatic representation of data, line diagram, bar diagram and pie diagram. Classification of data, the process of arranging data into homogeneous groups or classes according to some common characteristics present in the data is called classification. For example, during the process of sorting letters in a post office, the letters are classified according to the cities and further arranged according to streets. Types of classification. One-way classification. If we classify observed data keeping in view a single characteristics, this type of classification is known as one-way classification. For example, the population of the world may be classified by religion as Muslim, Christian, etc. One more example, the classification of plants on the basis of height. Now second, two-way classification. If we consider two characteristics at a time in order to classify the observed data, then we are doing two-way classification. For example, the population of the world may be classified by religion and sex. Now one more example, we classify the plants on the basis of how many flowers and how many fruits are present on the plants. That means two characters are at a time compared. Number 3, multi-way classification. We may consider more than two characteristics at a time to classify given or observed data. In this way, we deal in multi-way classification. For example, the population of the world may be classified by religion, sex, and literacy. Now, one more example for multi-way classification is classification of plants on the basis of height, number 2 on the basis of number of flowers, and number 3 on the basis of number of fruits are present on the plants. Meaning of classification of data. It is the process of arranging data into homogeneous, that means similar, groups according to their common characteristics. Raw data cannot be easily understood and it is not fit for further analysis and interpretation. This arrangement of data helps users in comparison and analysis. For example, the population of town can be grouped according to sex, age, marital status, etc. Definition. The data collection is a process by which the researcher collects the information from all the relevant sources to find answers to the research problem, test the hypothesis, and evaluate the outcomes. While collecting the data, the researcher must identify the type of data to be collected, source of data, and the method to be used to collect the data. The choice of data collection methods depends on research problem under study, the research design, and the information gathered about the variable. Broadly, the data collection method can be classified into two categories. Primary data collection method. The primary data are the first-hand data collected by the researcher for the first time and is original in nature. The researcher collects the fresh data when the research problem is unique and no related research work is done by any other person. The results of the research are more accurate when the data is collected directly by the researcher, but however, it is costly and time consuming. Secondary data collection methods. When the data is collected by someone else for his research work and has already passed through the statistical analysis, it's called the secondary data. Thus, the secondary data is the second hand data which is readily available from the other sources. One of the advantages of using the secondary data is that it is less expensive and at the same time easily available, but however, the authenticity of the finding can be questioned. Quantitative data. The data is expressed in numbers and summarized using statistics to give meaningful information is referred to as quantitative data. For example, of quantitative data, we could collect heights, weights, or ages of students. If we obtain the mean of each set of measurements, we have meaningful information about the average value for each of those students' characteristics. Qualitative data. When we use data for description without measurement, we call it qualitative data. Examples of qualitative data are students' attitudes towards school, attitudes towards exam checking, and friendliness of students to teachers. Such data cannot be easily summarized using statistics. Primary data. As the name suggests, are first-hand information collected by the surveyor. The data so collected are pure and original and collected for a specific purpose. They have never undergone any statistical treatment before. The collected data may be published as well. The census is an example of primary data. Method of primary data collection. Personal investigation. The surveyor collects the data himself, herself. The data so collected is reliable but is suited for small projects. collection via investigators. Trained investigators are employed to contact the respondent to collect data. Questionnaires. Questionnaires may be used to ask specific questions that suit the study and get responses from the respondents. These questionnaires may be mailed as well. Telephonic investigation. The collection of data is done through asking questions over the telephone to give quick and accurate information. Secondary data. Secondary data are opposite to primary data. They are collected and published already by some organization. For instance, they can be used as a source of data and used by surveyors to collect data from and conduct the analysis. Secondary data are impure in the sense that they have undergone statistical treatment at least once. Methods of secondary data collection. Official publications such as the Ministry of Finance, Statistical Department of the government, Agricultural Statistical Board, etc. Semi-official sources include State Bank, Board of Economics Inquiry, etc. Data published by chambers of commerce and trade associations and boards. Articles in the newspapers, from journals and technical publications. Objectives of data collection: to consolidate the volume of data in such a way that similarities and dissimilarities or differences can be quickly understood. Figures can consequently be ordered in a few sections holding common threads to aid comparison, to point out the important characteristics of the data at a flash, to give importance to the prominent data collected while separating the optional elements, to allow statistical methods of the material gathered. Classification according to class intervals. To make data understandable, data are divided into numbers of homogeneous groups or subgroups. In classification according to class intervals, the observations are arranged systematically into a number of groups called classes. Such classification is most popular in practice. But before this discussion, we have to define some terms which will be used in the above classification and are class limits, class intervals, range of data, class frequency, class mid value. Now first we do the class limits. In class limits are the lowest and the highest value of the class is known as class limits. For example, let us take the class 10 to 20. Say this is 10 to 20. The lowest value of this class is 10 and the highest value of this class is 20. Lowest value is 10 and highest value is 20. For example, 50 students having mass between 0 to 50 are 7, 11, 15, 12, 5, total number of 50 students. The class mass 0 to 10 first class, 10 to 20 second class, 20 to 30 third class, 30 to 40 fourth class, and 40 to 50 5 class. Number of students 7, 11, 15, 12 and 5. Total number of students are 50. The two boundaries of the class are known as the lower limits and upper limits of the class. The lower limit of class is the value below which there cannot be any value in that class. The upper class limit of the class is the value above which no value can belong to the class. Now see are the five classes 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 are the five class, and in first class 0 to 10 7 number of students, that means 7 number of students having the mass in between 0 to 10. Second class 10 to 20, and in that class 11 number of students getting the mass in between 10 to 20. Likewise 20 to 30 third number of class 15 students are getting the mass in between 20 to 30. Now fourth class is 30 to 40 having 12 number of students getting mass in between 30 to 40, and last 40 to 50 5 number of students getting mass in between 40 to 50. Class intervals. The class interval of a class is the difference between the upper class limit and the lower class limit. For example, in the class 10 to 20, the class interval is 10. That means 20 minus 10. This is valid in the case of exclusive method discussed in this subsection later on. If the inclusive frequency distribution discussed later on this subsection is given, then first it is converted to exclusive form and then class interval is calculated. The size of the class interval is determined by number of classes and the total range of data. Number third is range of data. The range of data may be defined as the difference between the lower class limit of the first class interval and the upper class limit of the last class interval. For example, the classes are 0 to 10 first, 10 to 20 second, 20 to 30 third, 30 to 40 fourth, and 40 to 50 fifth. That means 0. This is the first class lower limit, and 50 is the last fifth class higher limits. Now, the first class lower limits and last class higher limit is the range of data. That means 0 to 50 is the data of our class. Next, number 4, class frequency. The number of observations corresponding to the particular class is known as the frequency of that class or the class frequency. In the given frequency distribution, the frequency of class 10 to 20 is 12, which implies that there are 12 persons having ages between 10 to 20. If we add together the frequencies of all individual classes, we obtain the total frequency. Frequency distribution of 50 persons having ages between 0 to 50 years are 8, 12, 15, 10 and 5. Total number 50. Now the first class 0 to 10 having the 8 number of frequencies, 10 to 20 having 12 number of frequencies, 20 to 30 having 15, 30 to 40 having 10 and 40 to 50 having 5. Now number 5, class mid value. It is the value lying halfway between the lower and upper class limit of class interval. Midpoint or mid value of a class is defined as follows. Central value between upper class limit and lower class limit is known as mid value of a class. For the purpose of further calculations, In statistical analysis, mid value of each class is taken to represent that class. Now we are in position to discuss the two methods of classification according to class intervals, namely exclusive method and inclusive method. Let us discuss these two methods one by one. First, exclusive method. Under this method, a class interval is such that each upper class limit is excluded from the class interval. Here, in this method, class intervals are so fixed that the upper limit of one class is the lower limit of the next class. For example, there are 24 students who have secured the mass between 0 to 50. A students who secured 20 mass would be included in class 20 to 30, not in 10 to 20. This method is widely followed in practice. For example, 24 students appeared in an entrance test where all questions are objective types with 25% negative marking. The marks obtained out of 50 maximum marks are as follows: 17, 16, 7, 30, 21, 42, 44, 36, 22, again 22, 25, 31, 31, 34, 30, 36, 35, 45, 25, 15, 20, 42, 40, 30. Prepared a frequency distribution by using exclusion methods. Now see, are the five classes 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 are the five classes, and in that classes 0 to 10 having one number of students, 10 to 20 three number of students, 20 to 30 six number of students, 30 to 40 nine number of students, and 40 to 50 five number of students. Now second method is known as inclusive method. Under the inclusive method of classification, both lower class limit as well as the upper limit of the class is included in that class itself. Frequency distribution of 24 students by inclusive method. See, 0 to 9, next class 10 to 19, then next class 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49. That means there is no overlapping in the class, and that class is continued 0 to 9, then 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and 40 to 49. 0 to 9 having one number of students, 10 to 19 having three number of students, 20 to 29 having six number of students, 30 to 39 contained nine number of students, and last group 40 to 49 having five number of students. The data are classified in such a way that the lower as well as the upper class limits are included in the same class interval. It is called inclusive class interval methods. Overlapping and non-overlapping frequency table. There are two different types of class intervals. First, overlapping class intervals. In overlapping class intervals, the upper limit of the previous class is the same as the lower limit of the next one. For example, 0 to 20, the upper limit of first class is the lower limit of next class, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, etc. Non-overlapping class intervals is known as continuous. In non-overlapping class intervals, the upper limit of the previous class and the lower limit of the next class one are different. For example, non-overlapping interval like 0 to 19, 20 to 39, or 40 to 59, etc. Thank you.